Hi everybody, it's Mark again, and I hope that you're learning things. That's what this video set is all about, is teaching people stuff and learning uh, from the information that is stuck up here in my head. And there's a lot of information. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but I learn all the time. If you go a day without learning something, it was a boring day. You go a day where you learn something, it was a good day. So, in the last video presentation, I showed you how to determine the weight size for your clock. I hope that you enjoyed that video. And this video presentation, I'm going to show you the most viewed video on my channel. And it has to do with the music box. And so I'm not going to record another video. I'm going to record what's on my YouTube channel. There are a few videos on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to combine them all into one for this presentation and give you commentary when I do my video editing. So stand by, stay tuned, grab something to drink, grab something to eat, put your shoes off, relax, and learn stuff. Today we're going to be working on, and I'm going to show you how to adjust a cuckoo clock that has the little man that comes out. Now this video presentation is going to be a few. It's going to be one. Facebook will not allow me to post a 10-minute presentation, so it's going to have a few videos. There's a few questions about how come the little man will not go back inside his door, and this is possibly one of the reasons why. This little man is connected to this wire. This wire comes over and it goes into the slot where the chain gear is. If the little man is not going all the way back in the door, it's probably because this wire is not going into the slot on this chain gear. Or the wire could be bent. Is loosen the two screws and turn it until the little man goes back into the wire goes back into the slot. Now you'll have to do this a few times because it takes a little bit of adjustment to get it just right. Another question is, when I put my weight on my clock, the weight automatically drops to the floor. One of the reasons why is because this ratchet might not be working right. So if the ratchet isn't working right, you'll have to fix that. Another possibility is this fan right here. This fan, if it's not in the holes that it's supposed to be in, that has happened to me. When you put the weight on this, the weight will automatically drop to the floor. And again, this is going to be several presentations, so this is part one. I don't really want to go into the adjustment of the what I call the comb going into the music barrel. I have a separate video where I adjust the comb using the width of a business card the comb width of a business card, and I shove it between the barrel and the comb, pushing the comb forward after you loosen the screws. Tighten the screws, try it out. If it's too tight, you will know. If you would loosen the screws and try it again until you get it right. The reason why you'd want a business card cut to the width of this comb, that way you could see where the end of the comb is hitting the teeth on both sides. But if yours is out of adjustment, I would suggest cutting a business card in the same width as this comb and putting it in between the comb and the drum, pushing the comb together and then tighten up the screws. And you'll have to take the business card out, and you'll have to experiment it until you get the comb set just right against the drum. Seth Linkfelter, who designs shirts and clock shirts and sells them, those are the shirts that I'm wearing all the time. He also designed me this emblem right here, which is for my my YouTube channel. And so if you would want a special emblem yourself, contact Seth Linkfelter. Continuing on, I'm not going to go too much into the cleaning, but you want to make sure that all these gears are clean so the fan spins properly. But there are two types of levers that go on these. Take a toothpick to clean out all the pinion gears. Use a Dremel with a wire brush if you have to clean up the gear on the drum wheel. Do whatever it takes. And also, if you're going to put this in your ultrasonic cleaner, of course you would take it off the board. Don't put it in there for more than a minute. Underneath this comb, there's dampers. These dampers are glued on the comb, and if you leave the music box in your cleaning solution too long, those glued on dampers will come off. So if you want to leave it in there longer, take the comb off so the dampers don't come off. The governor assembly, which is this assembly right here, which has the governor fan on it, they're quite expensive. They're about $45 or more a piece. A lot of the German music boxes have governor assemblies in there that work on the music box that you're looking at. Here is a music box that I picked up off of Facebook, and it was only selling for like $3 to include shipping. They sent it to me and only cost me like $10. But here you go. This governor assembly right here will work on a music box for the little man that comes out. So, just like Time Saver says, some modification is required. Here's the comb. Notice it's not missing any teeth. It will work for the music box for the little man that comes out. There's a lot of parts on these things that will work on there. So $10 versus $45 and up, you make that decision. The governor boxes have a plastic wheel on there. Those plastic wheels crack. My super glue and baking soda solution doesn't fix those cracks. I take that back. It has fixed it. I'm thinking of the plastic cuckoo bird housing. There was a friend of mine. He had a customer. She didn't have a lot of money. She didn't want to spend $45+ for another governor assembly. You cannot buy the plastic wheels for the governor assemblies. I'm sure if I went to Switzerland, because that's where these things are made, and I went into a clock repair shop and asked for a bag of those plastic wheels, they would probably hand me a bag of plastic wheels. It's a money thing. You sell a plastic wheel for $1, or you sell an entire governor assembly for $45 and up. What would you do? I have a whole bag of music stuff. So, also have brand new music boxes in here. Here I am pulling out a brand new music box. I have a friend who works on clocks who buys and sells Cuckoo clocks. He has, in a pinch, stole a brand new governor assembly off a new music box. And these things cost, depending on where you get them, on the average of about $100. He will take the governor assemblies off these brand new music boxes to fix a customer's clock or to sell a clock to a customer. Here's that wheel that I'm talking about. They typically have a plastic wheel right here. This is for a side-mounted music box assembly. This plastic tubing here, not to get off subject, but we're going to talk about this later on, but this plastic tubing here is adjusted to where the very last note of the music plays. That way it will stop this governor fan. And that way when the clock activates again, this piece right here will come out of this hole. This is your drum assembly right here. That's got all the teeth on it that plays the music. On a one-day clock, we're talking one-day clocks here, if it has one hole, it plays the music only on the hour for modern clocks. Antique clocks or close to antique clocks, sometimes they will play music on both the hour and half hour. If it's a Popo cuckoo clock, if it has two holes, well, I take that back. A Popo cuckoo clock only has one hole. The way they're designed, and I've got a video strictly on Popo Cuckoo clocks, and I'm not going to bring that into this video set, I don't believe, because I've got the videos on a Popo Cuckoo clocks. You can look for them. Anyway, a Popo Cuckoo clock has one hole in the music drum. It plays the music on both the hour and the half hour. That is the way they were designed. Every time, and the videos explain this, every time the bird goes out the door, it trips the music to go off. These clocks are designed differently. So if it's got one hole, it plays on top of the hour only for typical cuckoo clocks. If it's got two holes, it plays music on both the hour and the half hour. 8-day cuckoo clocks. If it has two holes or one hole, it only plays the music on the hour. If the clocks play the music on the hour and half hour, and they were only designed to play the music on top of the hour, the music weight will drop twice as fast as all the other weights. Music boxes. This is a fixed lever, and this screw will not tighten all the way down, and so don't force it. This lever has to be able to wobble up and down. So tighten the screw down, but don't force it. It will not tighten this lever all the way down. And then there's this type of lever that has an adjustment on it, and so once you put this down, you might have to adjust. That adjustment allows the arm of that arm right there to slide forward. That way the music plays and that arm slides forward. As the music plays, after the notch that goes into the hole, it allows it to play until the very last note is played, and then on a side-mounted music box, you have that plastic tube that stops the fan from spinning, which will stop the music from continuing to play. On this type of system, you have a brass tab, and I'll show you that in a second. if this lever here is not adjusted correctly. I'm going to go ahead and turn this around so I can get to the next step that I want to talk about. As you can see, this wire is going to drop in that slot and the man will go back inside the clock. Okay. There's a lever right here that has to be bent just right. On the hour, after the music does its thing, it will stop the fan from spinning. And this lever right here is the lever that attaches to the arm on the movement itself. There's also this spring right here. That way it'll go back into the slot. I don't know if you could see it or not, but that arm is following a raised edge on the drum. When the music is activated, and I talk about this later, if your clock, if your arm is pulling this piece out of the hole easily, it pulls it out of the hole easily because that arm right there that stops the music is doing its job. If it's not able to pull the music out easily, it's because that arm right there is not adjusted properly, so that is binding against the drum like I spoke of earlier. But if your arm is pulling the this lever right here, this tab right here, out of the hole, but it goes directly back into the hole, that's because this arm is not bent right. It has a curve in it to bring it out of the hole, just like this right here has got a curve in it to bring it out of the hole. And when it's properly activated, and I explain this later, when it's properly activated, it rests on the inside of the drum going toward the pinion gears of the center of the drum. But if it's not bent properly, it sits there and goes directly back into that hole. But there's a raised section here because it rests on the drum. That raised section, as the music plays, that raised section lowers this piece right here back into the hole. There's not on this particular music box, but this particular music box is for the dancers. It's just the way it is adjusted, it's adjusted so it, as you can see, it is following a line because it has played music so much. It is following a line that it has scratched over time. You heard the last note play. There's no more teeth being plucked because this was the last note. This lever right here is catching the governor band so it can't spin anymore. If it continues to spin and then it stops, I'm going to do that here. This will be hard to get out of the hole. And the music, you can hold this thing up in the air all day long and you can hear it some, but what amplifies it is when you put it on a piece of wood. You didn't see that, but what amplifies it is when you have it on a piece of wood. And different things will also amplify it also. In this particular case, it has this housing right here that is supposed to amplify. Sorry, I'm pointing at the wrong thing. It has this housing right here, and it is supposed to amplify the music with this housing. And if I was to take and get that German music box out again, it's got the same type of system, this housing right here, but it is a spring-driven music box versus a weight-driven music box. See, the spring allowed it to go back into the slot, and I got to stop around 3 minutes. Again, Facebook is not allowing me to post a 10-minute video, so we'll continue with the next video. Now this woodchopper cuckoo clock has the same type of music box as a cuckoo clock with the little man, except for it doesn't have the little man on it. But this cuckoo clock, I don't have the bellows in it, so it's going to be easier for me to show you what happens when it's activated. As you can see, it's got the exact same type of music box, except for it doesn't have the little man. And again, this lever here has to be bent just. You will notice on the, that was a East Meckenbecker Woodsman's cuckoo clock. You will notice on the music box, there's a section that has, like this section right here, there's like different wires going across it, and that's because there's a wire that goes into this section right here, and when it hits those wires, it allows the wood chopper to chop the wood. But it's the exact same music box. On this music box, I added this wire here because there's supposed to be a wire that's attached to here and then attached somewhere else, but it didn't have it, so I added this wire right here. That way when this lever goes into the notch, the little man comes back into the housing. I'll show that to you again. He's coming out of the clock, and he goes back into the clock. The little man doesn't come out that much. You would think with them making a lot of details in this little man, it doesn't come out that much. So don't be upset that the little man doesn't come out that much. And Esflaros used to sell these little mans attached to the wires, and you got to modify them to go into these two holes. It's the same way with the farmer's daughter's cuckoo clock, where the daughter comes out of the clock. She goes through the wire goes through these holes to make her come out of the case also. If I have a video where I'm repairing my East Meckenbecker farmer's daughter's cuckoo clock, which was made in 1966, but in the 80s, some jerk replaced the movement, and it doesn't have East Meckenbecker's name on it. I might take one of my East Meckenbecker's movement and put into that clock, because some clocks are more valuable than other clocks, and the East Meckenbecker farmer's daughter's clock is one of those clocks. One recently sold on eBay for $450 plus shipping. I have seen one sell on eBay for $800, I believe, but I think a drug deal was involved in that sale myself. They typically, in working order, sell for $400 to $500. There is an 8-day updated version East Meckenbecker farmer's daughter's clock. I've seen it. eBay used to have it. eBay deletes all their postings after, I want to say, 3 months, 4 months, something like that. That is another reason, if you join my group, I post stuff off of eBay and live auctions all the time, and I take that back. I will delete something every once in a while if there was an issue, but that is my collections group page is a good source to find out what clocks are selling for. You might have to do a little research, research, and go through and search for a particular clock that you're looking for. But if I have posted it since I created my group almost 2 years ago, it will still be there. Right. In order for the music to come out, the music to start, this little wire is activated. And when it's activated, this lever comes out and it rests on the barrel. If it's not coming out and resting on the barrel, that means this lever has to be bent so it comes out and it rests on the barrel. And that's why this screw is not tightened down all the way, it's flexible. But when it comes out, it allows the music to play. And again, if that lever is not adjusted right on the hour, if it's not coming out of the barrel, it's probably stopping your clock around 5 or 10 minutes till the hour. And again, if you don't have that tab stopping the governor fan on the very last note, that is why it will stop your clock. You have to make sure it is adjusted properly before you put the music box back into the clock. this is part 4 of fixing your music box that has a little man. Or this lever here is what activates the music box. And this wire here has to have a little space between the bend in the wire and this lever. If it doesn't, the spring that pulls the lever back in will not be able to stop, and your music will continue to play. If it's got too much space, it will never trip the music box. In order to get a space, you need to take a pair of pliers and hold this lever that's attached to the movement, and then bend this top part of the lever toward that way to allow you to get enough space. If you got too much space, it will not activate the music. That's what I just said, sorry. This wire here that it's attached to the movement stops the fan from rotating to allow the clock to cuckoo on the hour. If your music... And somebody asked me just today, can it have more bends in that wire? It could have as many bends in that wire as possible, as long as it's doing its job. Is playing the same time as the cuckoo is activating. That's because this wire is not stopping the fan. So you'll have to adjust this wire just enough to stop the fan to allow the cuckoo to play. And it's been a while since I watched my video. If that wire is bent too much to the right, it will cuckoo, and it will continue to cuckoo until the weight hits the floor. It's because this wire is bent too far to the right. I might talk about that. I don't remember. Now on the half hour, the wire moved just enough to allow the cuckoo to play. Now on the hour, it's pulling the lever. You see how far this wire goes over? And as you can see, if it was bent too much, stopping the fan from playing. It's actually cuckooing, but I don't have the bellows attached. When it gets done cuckooing, this wire here will move to... If it's bent too much, this wire will go way over here, and like I said, your clock will continue to cuckoo because it gets in a bind in this governor assembly. To the left and allow the music to play. You see, watch these wires right here. You see that's allowing the wood chopper to do his thing. Okay, and when it's done, the lever went into its slot, and the curved lever is now stopping the fan from moving. See, the fan's not moving because it's hitting that curved lever. I hope this helps. Let me know what you think. God bless. This is a side-mounted music box, and there's a video out where a cute little German girl is explaining everything about the side-mounted music boxes, and she does a great job. She's a lot prettier than I am, and those two videos, that video is in the featured item of both of my groups, and she explains things really well. I just explain a few things on this. Is playing too fast. It's because this arm is up too high. This arm is what squeezes this governor fan inside its position. And if it's up too high, the music will play too fast, or this fan will come out of the hole. And I talked about that earlier. To the floor. If your music is dragging to where it sounds really bad and slow, it's because this arm that holds the fan in is pressed down too much, and it's not allowing the fan to spin properly. You should be able to make it spin like that. In the same way as I talked about the movements on a clock, if that band is too loose, your music is going to play too fast, because it's called a governor fan. It's just like a governor in your vehicle that has to do with the speed, is to slow your vehicle down. It's the same principle. Also, I want to talk about this plastic sleeve, the newer Cuckoo clocks. And I've already talked about that plastic sleeve, and so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned things, because that was the purpose behind these videos, is so you can learn things. And again, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave me comments, hit the like button, hit the notification button. That way you can get informed on the new videos that I post. And may God bless each and every one of you. We're on music boxes. I might do a video set on a movement like this. I need to work on this clock, but anyway, older clocks have a governor wheel that is outside the movement, and to slow this thing down, you have screws that will spread these wings out further. You make sure that you don't spread them out too far to where they hit that little man, but you also have an adjustment right here to synchronize this music box into play. This is the governor fan right here. It's the music box, and you will notice that this music box has got more teeth on it than a typical music box of today. Now, the regular 701, 702, 71, and 72 movements of today, a regular 71 is a 1-day clock. A regular 72 is an 8-day clock. A regular 701, and I've got a video out on that, is I believe the prerequisite of a regular 71. But the ones with music, this is what they have, is the governor fan that is outside of the movement. I believe that this is a Herbert Hur movement. There's a W right here, and Herbert Hur used that a lot in their movements. I'm going to have to look at those plate diagrams and see if I can find this plate to determine who made this movement. But anyway, like I said, we might get into this later. I don't know. But this is the older style movement. As you can see, it has a count wheel. It takes heavier weights, and the governor band is on top and outside of the movement. And again, newer clocks with regular 71 and 72 have the same setup if they have music.